Hey Planty People, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm ready to make 2021 I'm really feeling the energy. I'm really vibing today. I hope you guys are ready for a killer 2021. Right before we get into today's video of what my favorite common houseplants are, currently my top 5 favorite houseplants, I just wanted to talk to you guys about like my goals that I'm going to be setting for myself for 2021. I would like to reach 10,000 subscribers. I know that that is a huge goal for my little itsy bitsy baby little channel, but I'd like to do that. That's a goal. Goal is to have a philodendron El Choco Red fall into my hands out of the air. Would love that. Would also love to meet some new planty people, and when I say new, I mean new to me, as in I would like to go and visit some of my planty friends that I've talked to online for quite some time now. That would be Stella. Also, a goal I would like to have for myself. Sorry, the light is absolutely god-awful right now. I have to like literally lean all the way over here. Another thing that I would like to do in the year 2021 is to have a freaking cool bomb IKEA greenhouse cabinet that is just like, oh, vibes. I love the aesthetic of that. I think it would be so cool. I would love to have my Warrock outside of my prop box. That would be nice so that I could actually view it daily, easily, and it be aesthetically pleasing to the eyeballs. So let's go ahead and get into today's video, which is my top 5 favorite common houseplants. Okay, so number 1 is an easy one for me. It is a Hoya Bella. Now this might not be the most like common, something that you would go out and find in a big box store, but this is probably going to be a common Hoya that you could find at like a local nursery. I love this guy. It's finally growing so much better. I had to give it a nice good flushing and revamp the leca, revamp the nutrients, because she deserves to live a life that is thriving and in an environment that just loves and supports her. That's a dream come true, and I just love this Hoya. This is one of my favorite plants in general. Great plant, highly recommend. It's got a lot of new little growth coming in. I love that. Bright neon green. Everybody should have a freaking Hoya Bella. They're so underrated, such easy care. Just remember that they're a little bit more on the thirsty side as opposed to some Hoyas, so you don't really want to wait for it to just get the wrinkly leaves, because whenever the leaves start to wrinkle, that's whenever they'll fall off on this plant, on this Hoya specifically. So definitely highly recommend Hoya Bella. They grow very fast. And sorry again about the light. I literally have to keep right here. They grow very fast, so definitely recommend Hoya Bella. Okay, so I had to change the scenery a bit because the light was just getting a little bit too much. My next one I'm not going to bring into the frame, but I will insert some sort of footage, is going to be a black pagoda lipstick plant. But I freaking love this plant. Another really super underrated plant, if you ask me. I think that the growing pattern is so fun. I love trailing plants. I love the pattern that you see right here on the back. I just think that it is such a beautiful plant. I got this gigantic one at a local nursery to me. I think it was local as in like a 30-minute drive, which isn't that bad. I got it for $35, which is absolutely insane, because a lot of the times you can only find like small little baskets of the black pagoda, and it is going to be, it'll run you about $20, give or take. I think I've seen some for 10 or 15. It is definitely a more common houseplant that is popping up more and more in local nurseries near me. So more than likely, they're near you as well. So keep your eye out if you haven't seen this bad boy. Okay, so another very common houseplant that I love is going to be Hoya Lacquinosa. Hoya Lacquinosas are very similar to Hoya Bellas, as in they like to stay more on the wet side. They're very thirsty plants. This guy started off as like a 3-vine cutting, and it is done so well. I have it in leca. I don't think that yeah, you can probably see the roots, but you can also see a boo-boo right there. It's trying to grow into the leca, which is an actual like stem. And I'm gonna have to repot it soon. I'm just like not looking forward to it because it is growing so well. I love the way that it looks right now, and I really would hate to disturb it, but if I have to, I have to. Plus the roots are getting to where they're trying to root bound themselves at the bottom of the net pot. And net pots can be a little difficult in that sense because whenever the roots get tangled up, sometimes you have to cut them, and cutting them isn't the end of the world, but I like to give my roots as much survival as possible, and I like to help my plants as much as I possibly can by not cutting their roots if I can go without it. So Hoya Lacquinosa, so fun. This one is the snow caps. You can see the fun variegation on there. Very, very cool plant. The blooms are, I believe, they're going to be like little tiny white fuzz balls with a little bit of yellow in the center. They're very fun, they're very potent, they're very fragrant, they permeate the whole entire room. Depending on how big of a house you have, it might even permeate the whole entire house. I know that my Hoya Lacquinosa that I have out on the patio, any single time I open my patio door and it's in bloom, I can smell it inside my living room, which is super fun because it smells very, very good. So my next favorite common houseplant is going to be the Raven ZZ. And thanks to Costa Farms, this was in everybody's, or most everybody's, Lowe's and Home Depot. And even for me, it was in my local Publix, which is a grocery store down here in Florida. I think I've heard of a lot of these popping up in everybody else's grocery stores around as well that has any type of floral area. And that is so fun and so cool because I know that these weren't common at the beginning of the year 2020, but in the end of year 2020, they became everybody's new best friend and everybody's newfound favorite. I think I got mine for $20, which is the going rate for the trending tropicals section for the most part. I love how different and unique the stems are. I made sure whenever I was picking out my Raven ZZ that I was looking for the ones that had the most new growth. So I was looking for the ones that had more shoots coming in out of the dirt. And if there wasn't any, that's fine. But that was going to be my top priority, was to find ones that had the most active growth at that point in time. And this was this bad boy. And he has grown so well. This is his newest leaf or his newest shoot, and it's still in the process of turning almost black green. And I love that the ZZs in general, they don't have to be in the most significant amount of light. They can handle low light without a problem. Obviously, it'll thrive better if you give it more light, but not too much direct light. But this guy sits in a pretty dark corner that doesn't get the most light, but it gets a lot of morning light in the mornings. So that is this guy. He's so cool, so fun. I love seeing new shoots coming up out of the dirt. Okay, so last but certainly not least is going to be orchids. And I know what you're thinking. Sometimes you can find orchids that are going to be a little bit more on the expensive side, but if you go into your local Lowe's or Home Depot, you can find a plethora of orchids. And these are the two that I am going to show you at the moment. This is just a regular Phalaenopsis. It is a small one. I have yet to get it to bloom for me. Hopefully one day I will get it to spike. I can't wait for that day to come because I feel like that'll be as satisfying as getting your first Hoya to bloom for you. I just know that it's going to be so good and so satisfying. That is what this guy is. I've had him for so long that I don't even know what type of what color flower it's going to come out as. I'm sure it's going to be like purple, because if I know myself, it's probably purple, and I would pick something that was flowering purple. But he's doing pretty good. I've had a few new leaves come out on this guy and a few as well fall off because I was neglecting it. I didn't have it in the right soil mixture, but I do have more sphagnum moss in there to help keep the roots a little bit more moist whenever it is watering day. And watering day doesn't occur very often for my orchids because they don't require it. They're more succulent and they don't like to be watered all the time. Because if you think about it, I believe they're an epiphyte where they grow on trees as well. So you don't see a lot of water just sitting on trees now, do you? This guy was also at Home Depot for me. He's super cool. I haven't seen him bloom or anything like that, but he is putting out his first new growth point right there for me, and I'm really excited about it. He is a Dendrobium spectable. I'm dropping soil all over my leg. Love that for me. He's very, very funky, and I just think that he's really, really cool looking. I got this guy, so I think most Home Depots and Lowe's have this section, but it's like a section by like the sphagnum moss and by like, I guess kind of like the accessories where they have the orchids in like little nets, and that's where I got this guy from. And you can find a lot more exotic ones over there. I think the most that you're going to be spending in that section is going to be like 20 bucks, give or take. I think the smaller ones are $7 or $8, and then the larger ones, I think you're gonna add $10 to it. So that's where I got this guy. He was one of the higher ones. I really do like him. I can't wait to hopefully see him bloom for me one day, because that's kind of what I based him off of. They come with little pictures of what the blooms are gonna look like. And yes, I do love the foliage, but I cannot wait to see a bloom on an orchid of mine. That is just gonna be a dream come true. Okay guys, so that is going to be it for today's video. I am thinking of lots of things that I want to do for the year of 2021. I'm very inspired. I'm just like ready to get in there and just knock it out. I really want to do more postings. I know I did a lot of Vlogmas. I did 1 month where I daily posted, and that took a lot, especially whenever you gotta consider it was posting every single day for a full month, and then also on top of it, I work in retail for 40 hours without a set schedule, so I can go in the morning at 5 a.m. or I can go in the evening at 3 p.m. and then work until 12. So it's really kind of just like difficult. So I do want to post more often, get more good content out for you guys. I hope that you guys stay subscribed and continue on this fun journey with me in 2021, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!